Welcome back. My name is Sabrina Huck of Ritual by Design, and I am here in my home. Today I want to share with you all on how to create an eye-catching floral design. This is part one of a three-part lesson. For the first part, we're going to be going over the centers, petals, and vines. All right, get your cones ready. It's time to begin. So the first center that we will be doing is a circle. Now this is a circle that is going to have an empty inside, and what's nice is you can keep sort of going around until the circle feels more consistent. All right, our next circle. This is a very traditional circle center design, and it is filled. So you'll see this traditionally in a lot of designs on the palm. Just a simple filled circle on the palm. Now the third center that we'll do is a swirl. We'll start with a small circle in the middle and then lightly drape lines around. Try to go slow so that you keep good form and consistent space around each interval. Looks nice. All right, our fourth one here, we'll be doing a simple circle, and then we will do some crosshatch lines. This is a time that you can practice your draping, try to keep the consistent space in between, and do a few lines one way and then a few lines the other way. All right, here we are. This next one is going to be a little bit more difficult to do, but with good draping, you'll be able to do it. It's a simple circle in the middle, and then we're going to do some light lines around. Kind of looks like a bullseye. All right, these are some really lovely centers that you can use in any of your floral designs. I hope that this helps. The next one we'll be doing are vines. So you have to start with a nice foundation, drape a simple line, and go ahead and start adding the leaves. Now I make a small line, I pull it out about more than halfway, and then I go back and I use the pressure from my thumb to make these gorgeous droplet shapes. They sort of rest on each other, so just try and while you're doing it, think about the bigger picture and make sure that they rest nicely on top of each other. In this design, pressure is everything. So make sure that your cone is nice and tight so that you're able to get the pressure that you need. When I see students doing this design, and most of the time the reason that it's not coming out as well is because they need to slow down. So don't be afraid to slow down to make sure that you get every line perfect. All right, here's our next vine that I will be sharing with you. We're going to drape a beautiful line, and we're going to drape one right next to it. This open bit really gives a nice inviting look to the design. Now you're going to create small leaves. They also rest on top of each other. You know, doing mehndi, henna art, a lot of it is rhythm. So you get into a certain rhythm, and I'm almost counting as I do each shape. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is helpful for me to make sure that I'm making these leaves consistent. And then I'll go back and fill them. It's nice to do that. It gives it a very bold look, and the color is going to be incredible. So don't be afraid to do some bold parts in your designs, because this is what's really going to make your design stand out, stay longer, get a darker stain. I love filling these bits in. It's just so relaxing, right? The tough work is done. You've already laid everything out, and now you get to fill it in. It's kind of like using a coloring book. Oh yes, looking nice, looking nice. Beautiful. Now this is more of a leaf pattern that you can add to your floral designs. It's pretty simple. There's 3 leaf patterns, and I'm just going to create a vine in the inside of it. This is a very simple design, and you can add it to any floral design. You can make the leaves big, thin, small. It's up to you. Ta-da! Doing that similar vine again. You know, I really love doing the line with the line and giving it that little space in between. So this one, you're sort of doing teardrops. You're starting with the thick part and pulling it towards the line. It gives it a more round look, which is really sweet. Less pointy, more soft and round. It's nice to know all these different variations of vines and just sort of experiment with them and experiment with the different flowers. You know, these are supposed to be an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to be creative and create your own unique combinations. So I hope that by seeing me do these, this will inspire you to create something super unique. All right, this is super fun. We're doing a few swirls, and we're going to do some lines and leaves. Woo! When you're doing an organic vine like this, I think the major thing for me at least is to make sure that it's balanced. So if I'm doing one swirl one way, then I'm going to go back and do the swirls the other way, just to balance it out. If you're not sure what to do, take a minute and make a decision and then go from there. Don't rush into it. Just like any artist, you're going to take the time to step back, look at your design, and then decide, okay, this is where I want to go. Oh, I love how this looks. Woo! I do. That's nice. And it's fun. It's got a great movement. It's got the little vines in there. The lines, the spacing is really sweet and special. People love swirls. Let me tell you. People love swirls. Me too. You guys are going to be good at draping these lines after this. So this is a fun pattern that I do. You're going to have to practice this. We're doing thick leaves. Now you can see they have some really good form. The thicker part is in the center of the leaf. I'm doing one and then the other, and just like earlier, there's a rhythm to it. This one is really based on pressure, so make sure that your pressure you come correct with your pressure. Ah, stunning. So good. So these are lovely examples of vines and leaves that you can use in your next design. All right, let's start the petals. So I have some examples here so that you can look at it before you do your own. This is a great opportunity for you to practice your drape lines. And here we go, humps and humps and humps. These little humps you'll see a lot in different designs. You can do layers of these. Once you get into a good speed, you're going to be able to make your designs look more ornate by just stacking these small humps. I put these around my centers, and then I'll add my larger petals afterwards. So practice this. You can't get enough practice of the Humpty Humps. All right, here we go. Draping lines. Whoop. All right, so these are larger humps. You can add a little bit of thickness to the top of them if you'd like. Putting these larger humps with the smaller humps, it just gives the variation and it really makes the design stand out. What's nice about doing these larger humps is that, you know, your eye is always interested in seeing the open space or the white space that's not filled in, so this really allows for that. I think these are the most simple of the petals, just because, you know, it's harder to match up round designs than it is to match up straight edge designs. So these are square petals. Now I bet you're thinking, oh, I've never seen a flower with a square petal before. Well, a lot of mehndi art or henna art is about creating abstract art. You know, it doesn't have to be literal. That's something really beautiful about it, actually. And one way to do that is by creating these sort of unnatural shapes, these box petals. I personally love geometric designs, so you'll see me add this sort of style into my art, and it looks great. All right, the next one that we're doing is a larger petal, round. I like putting the sort of a little extra paste on the top of it, just because it gives it a nice shadow shape. Now when you're actually doing this around the center of a design, you will be able to decide, do you want to make them all the same size and fit around there, or you can vary it and make them different sizes. It's up to you. There's two different ways that you can do this design. You can do it all in one swoop, where I'm just using the pressure to add more to the top, or you could go and do it and then add a little extra on top. Up to you. So this petal shape is a little bit more versatile. It's nothing that, this one is something that you can do pretty fast. You know, each one is not gonna have to look exactly like the other one. There's just this unique sort of organic nature to the top of these that you can sort of play around with. As you can see, I'm pretty fast at it because, you know, it doesn't have to be super perfect, so I don't have to take that extra time to make sure it's perfect. Draping lines. All right, this is the one that I like maybe the most, and it is what I call the temple shape petal. It just looks like an entrance to a temple. I think it's so special. And for this, I'm sort of mapping it out, and then I'll go back and add a little extra to the top. Now all these petal shapes, this is just the basic foundation. After you do this, you can go back and you can do different things into the center of the design, whether it's like a shading line, or if you want to do another inside outline of it, or you want to do like a dot pattern inside. Those are all things that you can do once you have the foundation down for the center, the petals, and then you can be creative from there. Yeah, this is super fun. I love this one. It can look a little intimidating, but once you get into doing it, you're going to find that it's similar to the others. You know, you keep the spacing between each petal right. I'm counting in my head. I'm making sure that it's the same each time. They're lovely. They give a lot of good movement to your design. Now these last few, I just did the basic outline, and I'll go back and add that extra bit to the top. This is really gonna make your flower pop. Ta-da! Here we are. We have all your petals. So take a moment to like and subscribe, and to leave some comments so I can get some feedback onto what you guys are wanting to see. All right, till next time.